baddest trucks on Earth. 10,000 pounds of pulverizing power. Get ready for the wildest ride of your life on Monster Wars.
And welcome to Monster Wars. We'll be heading out west to the desert plains of Pueblo, Colorado in just a moment. And if this week's racing is anything like last week's, you're in for some wild monster moments. Last week, Gravedigger didn't let the crowd down and provided us with one of the most electric finishes in monster truck racing. After flipping his truck in the semifinals, it looked like it was all over for Dennis Anderson. But Gravedigger doesn't die easy. By the finals, Gravedigger was back and running in full force and pulled an upset that is sure to make Monster Wars highlights. Well, that put Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger in first place with 48 points in the season-to-date standings. Today, we have another side-by-side straight track, the kind that keeps Gravedigger wild. We'll see if he can keep his momentum going. For more on today's racing, let's throw it out to Jim Davidson.
Okay, here's the riddle. What goes up comes crashing down and then goes shooting back up again, and we'll continue to race for the next hour. No, it's not one of the mean machines. The answer is your pulse. So get ready for some heart-pumping mega action coming to you from the Colorado State Fairgrounds. And if my blood pressure can handle this, I'll be back in the pits behind the scenes, bringing you all the stories from off the track and the man with the call, a guy who's all heart, Joe Lowe.
Call it cardiac arrest. Call it what you will, we call it Monster Wars. The crowd is on their feet as we prepare for a super night of competition here in Colorado. And our Goodyear track facts point out that this is more than just a side-by-side drag race. They must maneuver right at the very start over a hill and two cars. Then down onto the track for the straightaway, which will take them to this, our second ramp. They must get up and over that long set of cars before they cross the finish line in the air. And the first one across gets the win. And we are ready for race number one, round number one, between Taurus, the guy that made it to the finals last week in New York, Jack Willman Jr. qualifying first. He goes against David Morris and the Equalizer. And David Morris has his work cut out for him as he faces Taurus.
Equalizer, I'm riding high as one of the fastest qualifiers. So steer clear of me.
Steer clear? Taurus, I'll steer you right out of the race. That's what I'll do, and show the others that your kind of competitor can easily be shot down.
Go ahead, Equalizer, make my race.
All right, we are staged and set to go. Taurus and Equalizer. Equalizer telling us he had some problems with his oil pressure in qualifying, but whoa! What a race that was. Look at this, 0.02 of a second separate Equalizer and Taurus, and Equalizer gets the win. I couldn't see it. Let's see if we can pick it up now on the replay. Here's where he powers out, and yes, he does make it past Taurus, but very close. The camera tells the tale on that one. Our next matchup coming up to stage, the Gravedigger, the guy that won it last week, and the Invader.
Gravedigger, will you buckle under pressure, or will I have to melt you down? Your demise is inevitable. And I am the one who'll see you to the bitter end!
Round number one, race number two, and what a matchup we have. Last week's winner, Dennis Anderson, and the Gravedigger going up against Ray Perkowski and the Invader. Two evenly matched trucks, one a Ford, one a Chevy. Let's take a look at them in qualifying earlier today. Ray Perkowski qualified 8th, and the Gravedigger qualified third. Dennis Anderson driving the Digger, Frykowski in the Invader. Now, throw out what we taught you last week about these monsters, because we're in the Colorado Rockies. The altitude is everything up here. They have to experiment with fuel mixture, tire pressure. Everything has changed. The rules are entirely different when you're running at this very, very high altitude. And there they go. What a race! Side by side, they come across the finish line. Who won? It was Digger, but by 0.02 of a second.
Never underestimate the master of misery, for I will always lay new ground and claim victory. Invader, why don't you lay low for a while?
Well, I tell you, Ray Frykowski certainly has changed from last week. The Digger walked away with it last week. This time, Ray was right with him. And if you watch on the replay of the Invader truck, you can see some sparks coming off the drive shaft towards the end. That wobble in the drive shaft could have cost him that win. You can see it when he lands right here. Sparks going all over the place. He's going to have to correct that before the next round if he makes it in. Coming up to stage, our next matchup pits two entirely different design monster trucks against each other. Wayne Smozanik's Tropical Thunder qualifying 9th, and Alan Pizzo's Predator qualified 4th. Tropical Thunder, a much stiffer suspension. Predator, a much more fluid suspension. And let's see what happens as they take to the starting line. Green light, side by side. Predator then starts to pull out. He stays low and goes the distance. Predator gets the win, 5.28 seconds against 6 seconds for Tropical Thunder. This Predator truck is one to watch. Each week he gets better and better. Alan Pizzo and the Predator may be the truck to watch today. Our next matchup. Hey, the Troublemaker, the first time we've seen him. But this truck is a never say die truck, and he's staging. But where's the competition? He's supposed to be running against Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher. He's in the pits, and he's having some trouble starting. Let's check it out.
Get a screwdriver and take the cap off the mag. Hey, get a little screwdriver.
Boy, there's definitely some trouble over there in the Carolina Crusher pits. He can't get started. It started, then stopped, and it won't start again. Now, U.S. Hot Rod Association rules say that he has 3 minutes to answer the call. Will he be able to start and race? We'll find out right after this. Fuel, what's the story on Crusher? Let's go to Jim Davidson with the USHRA officials.
All right, we all know Crusher's having problems. He's trying to get it started. What's the time limit?
Well, Jim, according to the United States Hot Rod Association, we put him on a 3-minute time limit, and after 3 minutes, we'll have to disqualify him from that round, and we will not allow him to run again.
Well, we've got more racing to come, and the rescue crews are standing by. In fact, each track is equipped with an emergency rescue vehicle and numerous pit crew members to aid in case of a serious crash. So now let's see how the trucks continue to handle the straights. Carolina Crusher has rescued himself from elimination. They're getting set to race. Let's send it out to Joe Lowe.
Thank you, LuAnn. Gary Porter, the Carolina Crusher, does come back. He gets it started, and he will face the Troublemaker. Boy, there was some very, very tense moments back in the pits. But Porter is on the starting line right now, and let's take a look at this incredible matchup between two great monster trucks on the United States Hot Rod Association circuit. Jody Peterson and Troublemaker qualifying 10th after a bad bobble, and the Carolina Crusher 5th. Gary Porter says he wants to beat that 5.36 time he got in qualifying. They are lined up. Look for the green light and a go, and we're in the cab with Gary. Riding over the first set, on the straightaway, up in the air, hold on! Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher smoking them, 5.29 seconds as he takes out the Troublemaker. And we were along for the ride. And here's what it looked like from outside the truck. Carolina Crusher taking an easy walk over the first set of cars as Troublemaker bounces. He builds steam and comes across the finish line. That's what it takes to win monster truck races. And as far as Troublemaker, he was bouncing around so badly there was nothing he could do. He's got to learn to control that, because by the time he was done bouncing, the Carolina Crusher was already across the finish line. and already in the winner's circle.